You survived storms that were meant to destroy you, moments that broke you in ways you never told anyone about, silent battles that almost took your spirit, and seasons where everything around you felt heavy, uncertain, and unfair. But despite it all, here you are, still breathing, still standing, still becoming, still rising. Life threw blows at you that should have ended you, but every time you fell, something inside you refused to stay down. Something older than fear, something stronger than pain, something planted in you long before the world tried to crush it. That something is purpose. You didn't survive by accident. You didn't make it through by luck. There is a reason you are still here. There is a reason the enemy couldn't break you. There is a reason you felt weak but never collapsed. A reason you felt alone but were never abandoned. God held you even when you didn't feel him. He covered you even when you didn't understand why things were happening the way they were. He strengthened you quietly, secretly, deeply. And now, after everything you've endured, it's time to rise. You didn't survive just to go back to who you used to be. You didn't survive just to stay small, fearful, doubtful, or hidden. You didn't survive to continue living like you're unworthy or unchosen. No. Everything you went through reshaped you. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every betrayal, every lonely night, every unanswered prayer, every silent tear built a version of you that is far more powerful than the one who walked into the storm. You survived because you were meant to learn, meant to awaken, meant to shed old versions of yourself that could not follow you into your calling. Your survival was your rebirth. People thought your pain was punishment, but it was training. People thought your isolation was rejection, but it was preparation. People thought your silence meant you were broken, but God was rebuilding you from the inside out. The things that were meant to bury you ended up planting you. The darkness that surrounded you was not your grave. It was your soil. And the version of you that is emerging is stronger, wiser, calmer, more focused, more disciplined, more spiritual, and more aligned than ever before. This is your rising season. Rise because you are no longer who you once were. Rise because the experiences that almost destroyed you ended up shaping you. Rise because the things you cried over yesterday are the very things strengthening you today. Rise because the chapters that once scared you are now the chapters that crowned you. Rise because the pain that once weakened you is now the power that fuels you. Rise because destiny is pulling you forward so strongly that staying the same has become impossible. You survived what others didn't even know you were going through. You carried battles in silence that no one could see. You fought demons in your mind that no one clapped for. You healed from wounds that weren't your fault. You forgave people who never apologized. You kept going on days when quitting felt easier. You held on even when you didn't know what you were holding on to. That strength, hidden, quiet, uncelebrated, is the greatest proof that you were built for more than the struggle. You survived because your purpose is bigger than your pain. You survived because your future is louder than your past. You survived because God refused to let what came against you win. Every weapon formed against you tried. Every betrayal, every disappointment, every downfall, every heartbreak. But none of it prospered. None of it succeeded. None of it destroyed you. And that alone is your sign. God isn't finished with you yet. Now rise, because the version of you that is emerging will silence every doubt, exceed every expectation, and walk into blessings that were delayed but never denied. Rise, because the storms you conquered in private are about to reveal a strength in you that the world is not prepared for. Rise, because you're stepping into a season where your value is recognized, your voice is respected, your heart is protected, your path is guided, and your spirit is elevated. Rise because you are chosen. Rise because you are covered. Rise because you are called. Rise because the same God who carried you through the valley is now leading you to the mountain. Rise because the battles you've overcome have earned you a victory you can no longer hide from. Rise because the world needs the version of you that survived. Rise because your story is far from over. Everything you've been through wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you for this moment. You survived. You overcame. You outlasted what was meant to take you out. And now it's time to rise into the fullness of who you were created to be. You survived. Now rise.